Okay, we're going to do a little breakdown of my match at the Navy Judo versus Navy Jiu Jitsu scrimmage, as we called it. And I want to just, before I do anything, I want to just again give a big thank you to Midshipman Hanada. He did not have to take this. It really was a lose lose for him, right? If he wins, he beats me in a very judo-y rule set when he's an Olympic alternate, I believe, and less than half my age. And if I win, and if he loses, then he lost to the guy who shouldn't win in his rule set, who's an old man in comparison. Um, so nothing but love and respect to him and the whole judo team for getting together with Navy Jiu Jitsu. But let's do this and we'll draw on a little bit here. So I tell my students the importance of staying loose, and I'd say we're both doing a good job. See, I see him bounce around, I shake my hands out. It's not an excuse, but I'd been like sitting and coaching for like 2 hours and then kind of like stood up and was like, all right, let's go do this. So probably wasn't optimal, which means I had to stay loose. I couldn't be tense and come at this right away. Now, strategically, I know that he's gonna have better takedowns. I'm still recovering from all these surgeries. I'm not quite ready to try to use some of what I do have there. So I go to my game, right? You gotta play smart. Grip fights, grips are life in the gi. I was looking here, so let's just go back a little bit. I was looking, and I'll draw right back here. It's me a long breakdown. So I can talk about what I know, what I was thinking. I had been looking to try to get a cross grip, my right hand to his right lapel, to go for the lapel drag I love so much. But in this brief exchange, the way his grip was on here and I couldn't quickly break it, I wasn't feeling that. So you know what? Pull guard. He has really good hips, kind of sacrifice throw energy. And in retrospect, I was a little non-committal with some of that because a lot of those pulls I like will take me to the footlock game, but I couldn't do any footlocks. So I kind of realized in these moments, like, what am I going to do? Traditional knee shield, half guard. It was funny too, and I would do the same thing. We both went hard, but when I'd asked him for the match, I was like, hey, a friendly match. Then I feel the way he's grabbing me, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're playing for real. Nothing but love. He did a good job keeping his hips away from my frame. So I was frustrated by that moment because, yes, they stopped because of this edge over here, but we had fully turned and we're coming back in, and I'm on this looking to knee tap right here off this knee to win the takedown and end up on top. Um, I have reason to suspect I could probably pass his guard, but alas, they stopped us. And I am talking to the ref a little bit, but he and I go back. So I think this is the moment where he almost ragdolls me. Again, yeah, yep. So he got slick there. I kind of sat my butt down off the trip. Camera changed to a better camera that was recording for part of this. So here, I know I got to play jiu-jitsu against him. Right here, I know I was thinking about trying to pull this leg around, which I like, that can force action out of him. At the same time, I was also wary about that being construed as like a foot or a leg lock. So I know I kind of hesitate there. See my hand bounce back and forth a little bit. Yeah, it was up, down, because I'm trying to figure out what I want to do and how he reacts. But here we go, little baby bolo. Boom. So just, if I'm not going to beat him at judo, I'm going to beat him at jiu-jitsu, right? Uh, Nothing really happens here, and I'm actually going to turn off screen brush and jump us forward because he does a great job hiding from the choke, and I then come across the face apparently too much and got stood back up for like unnecessary roughness, I guess. Again, judo's more concerned about those things, and I think we are in jiu-jitsu a little bit meaner. By the way, I love my like high water gi pants I got going on right now in this moment. And I can hear Bella making fun of my pants. So I go down here again. This is a moment I make a mistake. I go into a leg entry, but then I can't do any leg stuff. And he does a good job getting up to his knees and stacking into me. I briefly thought about trying to invert underneath here. Two problems with that. One, he was being good about being heavy on me, and two, I'm so gun shy about like intense inversions with all the neck injuries I've had. So I end up in a bad spot. Trying to come around, elevate him. And now I'm sort of like trying to adapt, like what do I want to do here if I can't, and this choke tries to put on me, it actually scraped. I had like a scab under my chin for a while from this moment right here. He wants it. And actually to get out of that, it was good enough. I actually basically had to give him my back. At this moment, so I am not Hodger Gracie, obviously, the GOAT, but something that I really took from him in Jiu Jitsu is that when you deeply believe in your defense, the offense will come. And I would say, when you're an old, out of shape man that hasn't done any competition for 2 years and you take on a monster like him, I was largely using this moment to recover. I was already tired and just kind of just resting with deep confidence that he's not going to tap me, but using little energy. Just staying tight, addressing grips. He knows what he wants. I can feel him looking for it all. I don't mind the cradle. I also know with the rules set, there's a better chance that we might get stood up here in a minute. But it doesn't come. And he ends up getting an osaikomi, what's the right word? He starts to pin on me, and that forced me to hustle, which the fact that I'm just kind of conserving here is partially how I was able to get out of that. Here we go. Yeah, osaikomi. Yeah, I was right. So now I got to move. I only have 20 seconds. Belly down. So it stops. He's still choke hunting, but again, I have faith in my defense. And now we're out. And his ability to belly down, again, a judo rule set, very good. But here we go again. Body triangle of love. So now I gotta be really cognizant not to come over his face. Come on, referee, move. My hairline, that's receding. I think here, if I recall, I end up finishing him belly down. Something I didn't show, maybe we'll jump back at the end. He's trying to turn away from me, but just ride with the body triangle, reconnect. I was concurrently considering, sometimes you got to throw multiple threats, right? So I was concurrently looking for trying to get a lapel and then come across for a lapel choke, or can I just get a rear naked? And I was kind of dancing back and forth with my grips, being very cognizant not to come over his face again, because that's what got us stood up last time. So I think it's under the chin for a moment. I started toying with the idea of coming out for an armbar right here. So again, the more you can chain attacks, the better. And so thinking about that armbar, and he's smart, he knows that's coming. So in this moment, I haven't been able to find a choke, I start isolating that arm, and as I'm posting out on this elbow to try to get my lower leg, my left leg free to come around for the armbar, he knows that's coming, and so that forces him to either accept dancing out of an armbar, maybe he succeeds, maybe he doesn't, or he goes back to his instincts of going belly down. But I can then ride that to have belly down back control, which is kind of the king of back controls in a lot of ways, especially with, I do have a weight advantage on him. So fine, I'll ride that over. I know I'm very heavy in this moment. And I'm just fishing. Boom. There we go. Oh, great finishing face. So let's turn off screen brush. And we'll go back. One other thing I want to emphasize. When I had the body triangle, come with the baby bolo. Let's see here. going to be a moment. So at one point, watch this foot. Pretty sure there's a moment where I use it behind his leg. Yep. Wait, see how yes. So I can't pause it all of a sudden, but the way I extended his leg out to keep him over, to keep my chest glued to his back, that's one of the things I know I've taught you all before. So, yep, and now I get in trouble. I'm such a mean jiu-jitsu player. But hey, little match breakdown. And for anyone on the Navy team, I will happily and lovingly do these for you too. Yeah. Have a good summer break.